Okay, I've seriously recorded this video like freaking 5 times already, and every time it won't upload, so hoping it'll upload now. My next two videos are going to be on webcam because I have so many videos that I need to um, do. Like, I don't really want to um, spend forever in a day um, editing and all that good stuff. So, um, as you guys know, I went into have my be induced on December 23rd. I went in at 7:30 in the morning. I was checked. I had absolutely no change from my appointment on Monday, the 21st. So they put me on the monitors. I was having regular contractions already on my own, and my doctor then decided to just do um, Pitocin. He wasn't going to do Cervidil because he didn't feel I needed it. The Pitocin was just to keep things going. So I was there 5 hours before I got my Pitocin started, induction, anything. I was there for 5 hours because my nurse was an idiot. Well, she was an idiot. I hated her. That was my daytime nurse. So I was on Pitocin for an hour. They checked me after an hour, and I was at a 2. Nothing exciting happened at 3:30. I have my little paper here of everything that happened. At 3:30, I thought my water broke, but it was just show, like bloody show. Um, and then every hour, she came in to check. I mean, to hire the medicine. You go different levels with Pitocin. You start at a 0 and you go up to 20. Um, so at 4:30, I was at a. She hired it to a 5. Um, at 5:30, it was an 8. She was supposed to do it every half an hour up a level. At 5:30, she had it to a 7. Um, at 6 to an 8. 6:30, I was at a 10 somehow. 6:30 or 6 o'clock came around and I got my night nurse, who was amazing. I absolutely loved her. The first thing she said when she came in was, "We're gonna have a baby by the time my shift is over," um, which would have been at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we did that. She came in, she did everything she needed to do. At 8 o'clock, she checked me. I was at a 3. I asked that the doctor come in and break my water. He did. And from there, it was insane. Um, I don't want to scare anybody who might have to be induced or anything like that, but once they broke my water, the pain went, like, I was fine the whole time. The whole 12 hours I was already there, I was fine, no pain that I couldn't handle. But once they broke my water, um, they, uh, the pain from the contractions came on so quickly. They lowered my Pitocin, which they do anyway when they break your water. They took it down to, they halved it, so it was at a 12, so they took it down to a 6. Um, and then um, at 10 o'clock, I asked for medicine. I didn't want an epidural, so they gave me Nubane through my IV. Um, and uh, that doesn't take the pain away, it just kind of takes the edge off. By that time, I already requested a labor coach. If you watched my hospital tour video, you'd know that they gave a labor coach free of charge. You just had to ask for one. So at 10:15, my labor coach came in, um, and I worked with her for about an hour. At about 11, um, they checked me again. I was at a 4 and 90%. And at that point, I needed an epidural. I was really upset about it for having to get an epidural, but at the same time, I just wanted my son here. I was so tired. I just wanted to sleep. Um, so they had everybody leave the room, which was the worst part of the epidural because, like, you're so scared of the epidural, like, and they scare you on purpose. Like, they tell you not to move and, like, all this stuff. So you're having to do it through contractions. and really it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Um, Once it was over, I was so happy. It took about 30 to 45 minutes, and I know that sounds like a long time, but once you're there, it really isn't that long. Um, and the epidural itself probably takes about 15 minutes. Um, but then it's like that's just with the anesthesiologist, and then your nurse um, has to make sure it's working, and she's got to monitor your blood pressure, got to monitor the baby, and stuff like that. So after about 30, 45 minutes, they let my family come back in, um, and then I was able to sleep. The whole time I was actually in labor, my family was really amazing. Keith he was awesome. He, held my hand. He, rubbed my back. Whatever I needed, whatever I wanted, they were there and they did. Um, then I slept, and every hour they came and they turned me to a different side, so that way the baby would. He was facing to the side, so he wasn't face down yet, and they needed him to be face down. So every hour they would come and change me from side to side. At the third hour, they asked how I was feeling, and I told them I was feeling really uncomfortable. I wasn't in pain, I was just feeling uncomfortable. And my nurse said, well, let me go ahead and check you. And the look on her face when she decided it was time to check me, she was like, well, you feel uncomfortable because it's time to push, and I need to go get the doctor. The baby's head is right there. So that was a wake up call. Granted, this was at like 2:50 in the morning. Um, my boyfriend, Keith, my mom literally jumped up out of their sleep. They had finally got some sleep too. Jumped out of their sleep. It was and like everyone was ready to go. I pushed for a little less than 40 minutes. I started pushing at 3. He was born at 3:37. Um, he um, was doing really good until like on the pitocin he was tolerating everything fine until I started pushing. And as you guys know, he did have his cord around his neck, um, and that came into play once I started pushing. His heart rate dropped really low every time I pushed for the entire duration of however long I pushed. At that point, the doctor called in a neonatal team to be on standby for him. Once his head came out, the doctor was like, I need help," and that was scary. But he got the cord from around his neck. He cut the baby's cord and had neonatal take him immediately. Um, my son never left the room, but he was taken to like a bed, and they checked him over. They started clearing his lungs and everything because his heart rate was so low. Um, I wasn't the first person to hold him. Everyone else basically was. Keith got to finish cutting the cord. After they assessed him, his APGAR scores were 8 and a 9. Um, so that was good. He did really good afterwards. Um, I did have a second-degree tear, so I did get stitches. I don't know how many. My doctor said it was basically just one long stitch because he didn't want it to hurt when I peed. So that was, you know, fun. And then after 40 minutes or an hour, I finally got to hold him. Keith brought him over to me, and it was just the most, amazing moment that you could ever feel. All the, it's true what they say. Like, when I was having, like, once he was born, he didn't cry when he was born, so that was a little scary. But once he was born, like, all the pain and everything was totally worth it, and you don't even think about that anymore. You're so focused on the baby. That was pretty much everything for labor and delivery. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon.